In December of the third year of Genki 1572, a messenger hastily entered the command tent and announced, "Asakura Yoshikage has withdrawn his troops to Echizen." Why? With the help of the Takeda forces, we could have attacked the Oda forces from multiple fronts. Asai Nagamasa stood up impulsively and raised his voice, echoing throughout the camp. Asai Nagamasa was born in 1545, the legitimate son of Asai Hisamasa, during the 14th year of the Tenbun era. At the age of 16, in his first battle, he fought against the Rokkaku forces at Norada and emerged victorious. In October of the same year, his father Hisamasa retired, and Nagamasa succeeded him as the head of the Asai family. In 1563, the sixth year of the Eiroku era, because the Asai's territory was strategically located to pincer attack the Saito clan of Minyo, Oda Nobunaga, who was contemplating the conquest of Minyo, proposed an alliance. However, Nagamasa hesitated because the Asai had long-standing ties of gratitude with the Asakura family, who were at odds with the Oda. Eventually, he accepted the alliance on the condition that the Oda would not attack the Asakura. The alliance between Oda and Asai allowed Nobunaga to secure Omiguchi, a critical route for his march to Kyoto, and used it as a stepping stone for the conquest of Minyo province. Nobunaga was so pleased with the establishment of the alliance that he married his sister, Oiki, to Nagamasa, even covering all the wedding expenses, which normally would have been the responsibility of the Asai family. In July of 1568, during the 11th year of the Eiroku era, Ashikaga Yoshiaki, who had been staying in Echizen province and grew impatient with Asakura Yoshikage's lack of intent to advance to Kyoto, decided to seek refuge with Nobunaga. In August, Nobunaga, accompanied by Yoshiaki, began his march to Kyoto, arriving at Takamiya on the 8th with reinforcements from Tokugawa Ieyasu. Nagamasa also joined them there, where Yoshiaki was appointed as the Seitai shogun, becoming the last shogun of the Muromachi shogunate. In late April of the first year of Genki 1570, Nobunaga, together with Tokugawa Ieyasu, passed along the western shore of Lake Biwa, attacking the Asakura forces in Wakasa and Echizen, starting with Tenshuzen Castle and then attacking castles in Tsuruga County belonging to the Asakura clan. The next day, they defeated Asakura Kageyasu at Kanegasaki Castle. Nagamasa was preparing for battle. Dressed in armor, he was approached by his wife Oiki. "Are you going to attack Oda? The condition of our alliance was that we would not turn our blades on Asakura. I have not received any prior notice from my brother. But I owe my life to Lord Yoshikage from my younger days. I must help him now that he is in dire straits, or I will fail in my loyalty." Grasping his helmet in his left hand, Nagamasa left the residence shouting, "We march! We will strike at the Oda forces from behind to help Asakura." Initially, the Oda forces were advancing favorably in the battle, but then they received news that Asai Nagamasa had betrayed them. At first, Nobunaga dismissed it as likely false and did not take it seriously. However, as more reports came in, he had to acknowledge the truth and decided to retreat. If he continued, the Oda Tokugawa forces would be trapped in a pincer attack from Echizen and northern Omi. Nobunaga placed Kinoshita Tokichiro, later known as Toyotomi Hideyoshi, in Kanegasaki Castle to cover the retreat from the Asakura counterattack. This retreat became known as the Kanegasaki Collapse, a notable withdrawal by Nobunaga. After Nobunaga's retreat, the actions of the Oda generals were well coordinated, giving no opportunity for the Asakura forces to exploit and minimizing losses during the retreat. Nobunaga crossed the Ksuki Valley and withdrew to Kyoto with only about 10 followers. In the second year of Genki 1571, Ashikaga Yoshiaki began to issue secret orders to the Asai, Asakura, Miyoshi, Ishiyama Honganji, and Ryakuji, Rokkaku, and Takeda Shingen of Kai, in an effort to diminish Nobunaga's influence over him. Yoshiaki, as the Seitai shogun, desired the power to command the entire country, but the real power was held by Nobunaga, reducing Yoshiaki to merely a figurehead. In July of the third year of Genki 1572, Nobunaga began the siege of Odani Castle and started fortifying various outposts including Toramizaki, Hasazan, and Miyabe. Although the Asai and Asakura forces responded, Asakura Yoshikage did not go on the offensive. When the Oda forces launched sporadic attacks, key retainers such as Maeba Yoshitsugu and Tomita Nagashige defected to Nobunaga. By September, the Oda outposts were completed. On September 16, Nobunaga left Kinoshita Hidetsugu, later known as Toyotomi Hideyoshi, at the fort and moved his troops to Yokoyama Castle. In October, Takeda Shingen of Kai began his western campaign, invading the regions of Tatami and Mikawa, and successively capturing castles held by the Tokugawa. During this campaign, Shingen requested cooperation from Yoshikage, who, after Nobunaga retreated to Gifu, launched a joint attack with the Asai forces. However, they were repelled by Hideyoshi's forces at Toramizaki Fort. On December 3, citing fatigue among his troops and heavy snowfall, Yoshikage retreated back to Echizen. In February of the first year of Tensho 1573, Shingen requested Yoshikage to deploy his troops, and Kenyo of Hiei also called for his participation, but Yoshikage remained inactive. In April, Shingen's forces suddenly retreated back to Kai. Given the reports collected by spies about Shingen's long-term illness, Nagamasa concluded that Shingen had likely passed away. With the retreat of the Takeda forces, the encirclement strategy against Nobunaga collapsed completely, allowing Nobunaga to potentially direct a large army towards Omi and Echizen. While dining alone with Oiki, Nagamasa engaged in a deep conversation. Initially, the expedition to Echizen and the assault on Asakura were undertaken to rescue Takeda Motomitsu, the shogun Ashikaga Yoshiaki's nephew, who had been abducted to Echizen by Asakura Yoshikage upon the shogun's request. "I believe your brother did not intentionally disregard your agreement," Oiki explained. "Yes, I can now understand my brother's thoughts," Nagamasa replied thoughtfully. "Do you truly believe that remaining loyal to Asakura is in the best interest of the Asai clan?" asked Oiki, who, although their marriage was politically arranged, genuinely cared for the welfare of her husband and his family. "I have been contemplating that as well. Give me some time to think," Nagamasa requested. Stepping out into the garden alone, he pondered deeply. "In my youth, I was compelled to follow the Rokkaku, and when I broke away, it was Asakura who came to my aid. Yet, what of it? Lord Yoshikage has proven to be a poor tactician. At the Battle of Kanegasaki, not only did he fail to capture Nobunaga, but he also let his subordinates slip through his fingers. At the Battle of Anagawa, he was flanked by Sakakibara Yasumasa and forced into a retreat, and then he made a unilateral decision to retreat when Takeda responded to his call for help. And now, he remains passive without raising his troops. My principle has always been to uphold loyalty, but it would be an irony if that loyalty led the Asai clan into dire straits," Nagamasa concluded. Returning to the room where Oiki was waiting, he decided to request a meeting with Nobunaga.